All right, my friends. So this is episode number 3 of 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥, and I wanted to start off this video because there is like a specific problem that I do have. Now, I think this episode was pretty good, and I don't mind it whatsoever, right? With Yuzuha, the little fox got a name. He visited Millie. He found out that she does have powers to basically tell the future, like psychic powers. He got closer to Will. He's gonna teach a nun purify. He's gonna save a church. He's gonna save so good episode overall for the things that happen. But I do have one problem, and it's 50-50 if it actually ends up being a problem. I just had the same issue the nun had in this episode. I got tongue-tied. It's 50-50 if this ends up being a problem or not. And that is the fact that they're dangling the pancake. They're dangling the elf 𝐒𝐻𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥 in front of us a little too much. And a lot of anime end up doing this. And I don't know why it's a thing, but like they'll introduce this like character that out the gate we seemingly don't care of. But then they keep dangling and dangling and they keep making the character more interesting, blah, blah, blah. But then when the character, like the MC or whomever, actually meets or gets reunited with that character, it ends up just being like fine and just okay. And they end up not living up to the carrot that they were dangled to be, if that makes sense. And I hope that I'm making sense with that statement. But it's one of those things to where it's like, okay, another episode that we don't get 𝐻𝐻𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐽, which is fine. We're only 3 episodes in, but they mentioned her on episode 1, a couple of times episode 2, and now a couple of times episode 3. It's actually where we started with the letter from Leah or whatever the blue hair girl's name is. So they dangled 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6, 7 times already this 𝐻𝐻𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐽 character. Now we actually got to see her. So last episode, we finished off with her reading the letter, you know, looking out to the distance or whatever. And now we see that this episode, she's actually partnered with the big lady. And they're dangle her again. And then we see her being pretty badass and taking down a skull-faced, whatever, Jack skull-faced undead thing or whatever it is. And cool stuff. But they dangled her once again. And once again, we were reunited. Now, at the end of the episode, I thought that she was going to go save or going to go reunite or going to go see our main character. But that's not actually what ended up happening, right? Like, so I thought, like, okay, like she's for sure going to go see, you know, the people on the other side are Shin and Will and the little nun. But that wasn't it at all. She just went in and was totally a badass and went and saved, you know, people who were there in her party or whatever. So my concern goes back to, is she going to live up to the expectation that the anime is kind of building up to? My guess, because more often than not, the answer is no. They end up just being an okay character or whatever. Like, my guess is no. But I guess, you know, we'll see. But that's kind of my main complaint. Now, for the rest of the episode, like I said, I thought it was good. They took us through a lot of different events, and one of the things that I have praised 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐽𝐽 for so far is opening up a lot of paths. And I do appreciate that they're taking us to a lot of possibilities where Shin can go down as he navigates this world 500 years in the future from where he knew it. And he's on a journey of self-discovery by trying to find out his place in this new world, but then also discovery of finding out how it's changed from what he knew it should have been. And then also finding out the folks that left, right? How all the players got logged out, you know, what kind of ripple effect has that had through time. And then we obviously know too that this 𝐻𝐻𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐽 girl is obviously going to rip him a new one when she sees him by leaving her alone for half millennia, I guess you could say. So a lot of things to look forward to, and I like how it is opening up a lot of new paths. Now, this specific episode took us through the journey of him giving the fox a name in 𝐒𝐻𝐻𝐽𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥. And I like the fox character. I think it's really cool. It took us through him finding a request from the church to teach purity, you know, to teach a move, to bequeath a move. And he goes and he meets with the church and he finds out that Millie is there. And he wants to know more about herself. He finds out that she has psychic powers to where she can predict the future. And more often than not, all of her predictions end up coming true. That's how she put him onto the Fox. So I think that was really cool. We see 𝐜𝐴HM being not only a friend to him, a future good friend, but then also like a hero of the church. And of course, the church, like in every other anime and manga, is evil in a sense. Not this church specifically, but people who are trying to control and manipulate it. And oh my god, I have these sniffles. I have this big old booger. It won't go away. So I'm gonna try to suck it up. And I think that is all really cool. And I think that is really, really, really good. Then we meet the nun, which is a granddaughter of the priest who did lead this church before, who wants to learn purity. We find out that to learn the move, you got to defeat like 150 undead and do something very specific, but then she'll be able to learn the move. He has the move prepared for her. He has the orb prepared, which is like a holy orb. He has everything prepared for him. It's like, okay, now him and 𝐜𝐴HM are going to go out and they're going to help her, which they did, which I think is really, really cool. So it established a lot. It established his relationship with 𝐜𝐴HM. It established his relationship with the church. It established his relationship with Millie, who's going to be probably really important in the future as she begins to continue to predict the future. It set up the thing for Schnee or Schnee or whatever it is. I think that is potential cool, potential not cool. It just depends. So a lot of potential here is just, will it live up to it or not? And the answer more often than not, or I always say that statement, but the answer to that is most anime simply don't. But I'm going to cross fingers that this one does. So I guess it just remains to be seen. But overall, 𝐒𝐻𝐽𝐽 episode 3, I enjoyed it. My only gripe, complaint, little tidbit of, I don't know about that one, is the Schnee stuff. Is, will it live up to this? Like, they're putting Schnee, they're putting the P on the pedestal, and will it live up to that? I just don't know. So let me know what you guys thought or think in the comments down below. And I will see you guys next weekend for another episode. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend and a good week and everything that's coming ahead. And my friends, I'll see you then. Peace.